when you face this little bit of adversity that we have right now, that we stick to our plan, that we stay true to the culture that we're trying to set here. And by no means are we in any kind of panic mode. And we got to do everything better, and we got to make sure we're focusing more on the details, make sure we're focusing on getting these guys to execute better, and then our job as coaches is to do a better job of making sure they have more opportunities to have that success.
How does the offense look the last 2 days in practice?
You know what? Today was a great day. It really was. Those guys, they came out a little bit sluggish, a little bit tired from the weekend, but, man, they responded really well. After that first period that we had, those guys started flying around. I thought the execution level, Tuesday's usually the rough day because everything's new. And I thought this was honestly a really good Tuesday for us because we were challenging our guys with different things, and they did a really nice job with it.
In the past game, the completion percentage is lower, and people blame that on Fitz, but there's a lot of different reasons for that, pressure and otherwise. Where do you see the disconnect in the passing game right now?
I mean, it's kind of the same thing. To just keep it simple because that's what we need to do. We don't need to overcomplicate this thing. And it's, we got to do a better job putting our players in a better position. That's part A. Part B is we got to protect. Part C is Nick's got to do a better job of making sure he knows where the ball goes. And then the last part D, is we got to catch football when it's thrown to us. So we really do got to keep it simple, and we got to make it about us. Yes, we played 2 really good defenses that challenged us, but by no means did we feel like we didn't have opportunities to execute and win those ball games. We have to learn how to execute in those stressful situations, and when we do, I think it's going to be really good.
When you say keep things simple, do you mean within the play calling or within kind of technique emphases? Or
it's more about the focus. When you start thinking about 25 different things, I mean, you're never going to get anything accomplished. So it's about our focus, and I've said it in here. It's the fundamentals. It's making sure that we do our job as coaches and putting these guys in position, and it's the players' responsibility to make sure that they're focused and disciplined. And I think that we improved on that part of it. Going out and only have 1 penalty, that the snap issue, I thought we did a really nice job there. But we got to make sure that we execute when the opportunities are there. And it's not about making miraculous plays. It's about making the plays when they're presented to you. And that's we got to do that. We got to do that better.
When a player like Osiris has a drop in a moment that was magnified like that, what do you tell him after something like that?
No, I mean, to me, that's a great learning experience for him. This is his first opportunity, real opportunity. I know he's played some snaps before, but he's really getting an opportunity right now. And I think, something that he and I have focused on since spring and me getting to know him was being able to overcome those adverse moments. And so he's a guy who, this is a big opportunity for him going forward. I think his teammates believe in him. We believe in him. And I said it in our offensive unit meeting the other day. I said, we're not going to hide behind anything. Yes, Osiris, you should have caught that ball. Yes, you know that, but we're not going to hide behind it. We're going to go get better. We're going to reenact it. We're going to give you an opportunity. We're going to come back to you in the future. So we're not going to hide behind that stuff. We really aren't.
Walker Saturday, about the fact that you're still going to keep looking for the right play for matchups. How much of using the full, basically 40 seconds of the play clock is that looking for that right play, making the checks, or some of it maybe just bluffing and delaying?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we could probably do a little bit better job of that. We can use a variety even more because that's the basis of this offense. It's the ability to go really fast. It's the ability to get the perfect play. And so if there's one area that maybe we can do a better job, it is that. Because I think there is a huge advantage of being able to make them show their hand. And so that is advantageous to us. And sometimes you run the play clock down a little bit, but that's part of it. It really is. And I think where we're at and how good our defense is playing, that honestly can help us.
The basis of the offense is run pass option, but that said, how can you help get the ball into the running back's hands more often? Well,
you call plays that he gets it. I mean, that's part of it. We can call more plays to get him, whether we throw it or hand it off to him. I think we have 2 really good players that they got to get touches, and Nick's obviously an explosive player himself. So we got to make sure they're all getting touches, and we have some guys on the outside that need to make sure they touch the ball too. And so going forward, it's definitely going to be an emphasis of ours, and make sure that we find different ways and creative ways to get those guys the ball.
Going off of that, Coach Moorhead keeps saying that he thinks Nick's making the right decisions. I mean, the past 2 games, his yards per carry hadn't been that great. Do you see it that way too? Do you think he's making the right decisions?
As far as whether to run or pass?
Exactly.
Oh, yes, he's done a really nice job. I mean, that is definitely not part of the problem at all. I think he's attacked these game plans really well. He knows exactly what he's supposed to be doing. The execution level may not be exact for everybody, but as far as his decision making, I thought he's been really strong.
Do you think?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt the flow there.
Do you think part of that is why he's struggled a little bit recently is just because he's the pressure that's coming at him, and obviously the offensive line's had some issues, or why do you think that is?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you again, I like to just keep things simple. When you look at that game, and if a few plays go our way, I don't think Nick gets the criticism that he gets. I just really don't. We only had 3 opportunities really with the ball in the first half. So it's not like we're having 15 possessions and things aren't going that way. I think Nick's done a really nice job. I really do. I think he's gotten better each week. But the execution level on a whole, again, now we're playing really good defenses. We're about to play another really good defenses, so we're going to get challenged again. And the execution and the margin for error is small, so the execution's got to go up. And that's 11 guys on the field. That's not Nick. That's 11 guys on the field.
Kind of along the lines of the running game and the options and things like that, getting the balls to the running back, something that you mentioned a while ago. Do you see a situation where you kind of take the option out a little bit and more design run type things to make sure that those guys are getting
only if it's advantageous to us? Really is. I mean, that's and Coach does a great job of that stuff. He really does. He's done a really good job 99% of the time of putting our guys in the best position to have success. Now, we have to execute, and that's each position coach making sure their players know what they're supposed to do, and that's each player taking accountability to actually know what they're supposed to do and execute their assignments. So we got to do a better job of executing our assignments before we can ever think about changing who we are. And honestly, we feel really good about who we are. We're not going to change this culture. It's critical right now that we put our foot in the ground here and stay true to what we want this culture to be.
Do you feel like you're close to a breakthrough with the offense?
I think we're strong enough to stay where we're on our path. I really do. I think yes, we need to put more points up. Yes, we need to get more yards. We can't walk away from a football game with 200 yards of offense. That can't happen again. But the reality is we know this works. It has worked. It's been proven to work. We got to get the execution level up to where it needs to be.
The last couple of weeks, Watts had a pretty good showing on special teams. Where is he as far as the receiver rotation, and how is he developing there?
I would say nothing has changed as of now in regards to how much he'll play or not play. But I will say that he's gotten a whole. I mean, he had 3 or 4 plays in practice today that were just like, this kid's growing. The kid's growing. He's getting more confident in what his assignments are and what he's supposed to do. He catches the ball extremely well. So he's someone that I don't want to be in a hurry with him. I want him to continue to grow and develop and mature in that position so that when it's the right time, it's the right time for him, and then he can go out and have a heck of a career. All right, thanks guys, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Practice was great. I think that we went out there with a lot of urgency and on offense at least. Obviously I didn't get to see defense, but I heard good things over the physical practice. On offense, very up tempo. I think we have a great game plan, and we actually went out there and executed the new things we had in pretty well.
What have you seen from the Auburn defense? Obviously, you didn't have a whole lot of success against them last year, but new coaching staff, new defense, or new offense for you guys.
Great D-line. I think that their D-line's kind of like ours. You're going to have 1, maybe 2 hitches before you got to run and get the ball out of your hands. So they're going to put a lot of pressure on you, bring in 3 or 4 in coverage, play a lot of man. They'll roll some 1 high zone, 2 high zone type things. Kind of change it up on you. They won't stand still. They'll roll into things. They have good disguises. So it just takes a little bit of pre-snap recognition or post-snap recognition to see what we're dealing with.
Coach Getsy talked about simplifying things in the passing game. What does that mean from your perspective?
I think just not really adding a bunch of stuff in for this week. Doing what we do and just kind of perfecting the plays that we already have in. Not trying to do too much. Not trying to add anything. Not trying to overcomplicate reads. Just sticking with the basics. Day 1, day 2, day 3 install, and just going out there and playing.
Is there a little bit of I don't know, slow learning curve isn't really the right way to say it, but with a new offense coming in, is there still some progress being made to learn that offense?
I think with the new offense, I can speak from my position. I'll never really get to the, I guess we would say, like the graduate level of the offense. I'll understand the basics and what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how we're going to do it. But guys like Keaton and people who will be here for a little while will understand all the very small intricacies. And I'm trying my best to learn it all. But coming from a quarterback, having an off season, and then just really kind of having a spring and an off season to learn a whole new offense is tough. But we're doing what we can, and I think I have a firm grasp on it.
I know you would never use it as an excuse or whatever, but did having the ankle injury thing, did that slow down any progress whatsoever that you would have with learning the offense?
Well, not being able to go in there during team reps during spring, obviously that's going to hinder you from just kind of repetition, muscle memory on certain things. But I got as many mental reps as I possibly could. Did 7-on-7, kind of did some individual work. So I didn't miss out on much. And spent a lot of time over summer with Coach Bryan and Coach Moorhead, just trying to drill the offense into my head.
When you went back and watched the film of the Florida game, what were some areas of the offense that you thought could improve?
I think that at times we ran the ball well, and at times we didn't. At times we handled pressure well, and at times we didn't. So it's really just consistency. There are times I'm making the throw where it needs to be, times I'm not. We're catching balls, we're dropping balls. It's just overall, it's all around just consistency that we have to work on. And you saw in the first 3 games how explosive this offense can be. When we are consistent, we just do our job, and we got to get back to that.
Do you feel like you're getting close to a breakthrough when you watch film?
Absolutely. That game came down to as ugly as it may have looked. That game came down to 2 or 3 plays. And you make those plays, and it's a different ball game, and we go out there and win it. But I didn't make the plays, so you learn from it. You keep working on it, and move on.
Going back to the simplification thing, obviously it's hard enough to execute the offense that you guys just learned, this offseason, but is there a plan in place to maybe do some things that you wouldn't originally have drawn up just because you think they might work, like say against Florida, maybe more screens, more quick routes?
You go in every week with some new plays, some new wrinkles, so some new things added. You're not just going to go out there and run the same basic plays over and over again. You're going to have anywhere from 2 to 10 new plays you're going to put in on first and second down, and then however many you want to put in on third and the goal line and red zone. So in a way, yes, we do have wrinkles thrown in, and we do have a plan to go out there and attack their weaknesses. But simplifying it doesn't mean that we're not just going to line up and run straight at them. It just means that we're going to use plays that we've been practicing over and over and over again that we're good at, and that we have reps at, and that we're going to be able to run with a consistent, precise manner.
A lot has been made of people want to run the ball, and use the running backs to run the ball. When you're out there on the field, do you kind of get a sense that maybe we should start handing to the running backs, or what is your general feeling when you're out there?
If the play is to hand the ball to the running back, hand the ball to the running back. If the play is to read the defensive end, the linebacker, safety, anything like that, then you make your read and you go with it. You don't force anything. You take what the defense gives you and you go with it. It's not my job to call plays. So that's way above my pay grade. It's my job to go out there and execute the ones that are called. I'll stay.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.